Welcome. I'm Hunter Austin. This is Waylon Kelley, and together we are the Cloud Cowboys. Now you're probably wondering what we're doing dressed like this. Well, over the past couple of weeks, you guys have submitted some of the rootinest, tootinest questions in the Wild West about Salesforce that the Cloud Cowboys are here to answer for you guys. You probably got a lot of these types of questions, but who can you ask? Well, the Cloud Cowboys come riding in to answer some of these for you. We got almost 100 questions submitted in the last couple of weeks. We do not have time for all of that because you don't have the attention span to stay connected, but we're gonna answer a few of the best ones that we got. Keep submitting those questions and we might answer yours on the next one, all right? Now I'm gonna disguise some of these names. That way, if you wanna send a question that's like, hey, my boss doesn't know what they're talking about. Can you prove them wrong, Cloud Cowboys? I need your help. Go ahead, submit it. I'll disguise your name and it's all good, all right? First one we got here. This one comes from Wild Bill Weber. Wild Bill says, how can I reduce the number of clicks or repeated data entry from record to record if they're all connected? I find myself entering the same info twice. Waylon Kelley, what you got?
Yeah, so we get this all the time, and Salesforce is working every day to make this easier. The best way to do this is screen flows that can create multiple records, Lightning web components that can change the UI for you, and then the record page, the dynamic record forms. Those are the three best ways to make your data entry quicker and easier, where you can create multiple records. The last one is just using a record triggered flow to automatically update records elsewhere when this record saves. Those are the ways that I would look to make it faster.
Yeah, and we see this if people win an opportunity that then needs to become an order, or needs to become a project if you're in services. Maybe you've got a case where it's you need to create a work order or something like that off of it, and people don't like putting data in twice, right? You want to work on your adoption, get people to use the system, fix your data entry problems, look into some of these things. It will help tremendously on going quicker, reducing friction, right?
That's right.
All right, Bobby Sue Gentry sends in the next one. Bobby Sue says, I have only ever used a record triggered flow. When I'm creating a new one, I see options for record triggered, schedule triggered, and platform event triggered. When would I use those other options?
Yeah, so we all know how to use record triggered flows. They're awesome. Scheduled flows, where I use those is when I need to run a process, say every day, but I don't want it to queue up, say a lot of queued jobs. So for example, every day at 9 a.m., I want to run a process that checks any opportunities that are coming up for renewal and recreate those. That's where I use a scheduled triggered flow. Occasionally we'll also use it just to update data in the background, but usually it's for things like that. Platform event triggered flows is when you're doing an integration and you're using platform events, and whenever that platform event has an item come in, you want to take that event and then do automation within Salesforce. That's where you use platform event triggered flows. So yeah.
Cool. Play around with some of those in your sandbox maybe, see where it could come into play. But flow is being improved constantly. Really, really cool stuff that Salesforce is doing.
One more thing I'll say about scheduled triggered flows, it's really confusing because you think that you have to query for all the data you want to update. That's not how it works. It's one record at a time. So think of it as when it enters the scheduled triggered flow, it's happening one record at a time. That's how I think of it when I build them.
All right, next one comes from Carol Ann. She says, how can I see my opportunity pipeline change year over year? I want to see the trajectory of growth or scaling back. Now, this is a different question than just, I want to create an opportunity report and see my current pipeline, right? That's pretty standard out of the box stuff here. But what Carol Ann is getting at is at any one time, she wants to be able to say, where was my pipeline, last year compared to this year, even last month compared to this month? You got to work it a little different than just creating an opportunity report, right?
Well, you use an opportunity report, but that opportunity report, you'll notice, and there's certain objects that are like this. There's 2 date fields on opportunities, 2 close date fields, close date 1 and close date 2. The reason Salesforce did that is so you can run these reports. What you do is you group on both of those fields in your report. So you build an opportunity pipeline report and you group on month and then year. And this is how you do it. And then when you look at that and you summarize your opportunity amount, you will get year over year. So it's really easy to do. Salesforce built it that way on purpose. If you wanted to, you could do a lot more trending with custom objects and some other automation, but it's really easy to do out of the box.
Awesome. For those of you on unlimited edition of Sales Cloud, you've got things like Einstein forecasting in play that you should look into.
That's right.
And then revenue intelligence, which is fairly new product for Salesforce last few years. Look into that as well.
Correct.
If opportunity, pipeline training, that type of stuff is something that's really important to your organization, as most it is, right? Look into some of those products. They could be great for your business. All right.
Right.
Next question, Jasper Jenkins. Jasper says, what are the benefits of hiring an in-house Salesforce admin versus leveraging a Salesforce implementation partner? Now, we get this question a lot, right? A lot of the companies that we work with, we get to the end of an implementation and they're trying to figure out, do we hire in-house? Do we use some of the people in-house? Do we continue using your firm or a different consulting firm? There's benefits to both, right? And it's important that you have a plan and that you understand, to me anyways, the most important part is that you understand the complexity of your organization.
That's right.
What you've built, right?
Right.
How many users do you have? Sometimes just the pure scale, if you've got 200 plus users, that's a lot of people that are gonna need things and that are gonna be breaking things, right? Let's be honest. So you've gotta think of it that way. If you're a less than 50 user org, you might be okay just using a outbound partner to help with things as they come up and kind of steer the ship. If you get over more than that, you might want to look into a combination, right? But we always recommend at least a combination because of this reason. When you bring an admin in-house, if they don't have someone else to go to ensure they're doing things the right way, and they're maybe not as experienced and has seen 10, 20, 30 different Salesforce orgs, they don't know and you don't know to correct them and tell them, hey, you're not going about this right. So that's why we like the kind of two-pronged approach, especially if you're at a certain level. The other thing is, how complex are the products that you have? CPQ is a complex product, right? Field service is a complex product. You need to make sure you have a specialist for that. Either your in-house admin's a specialist, you hire a specialist, or you're partnered with an org that has specialists on staff. Anything you want to add there?
I think the big thing is having two groups that know your system. Because if you only have one admin and that admin leaves, we see this all the time.
Yeah.
The admin leaves and then you're stuck and you lose all of that knowledge that they take with them. So if you're running with a consulting partner who also knows it, they get the backing of all the people working at the consulting firm to help you, as well as if that person leaves, they can swoop in, help you for a limited time while you go get another person. That to me is the main benefit of partnering with both.
Yep, and it's a competitive marketplace out there right now. Call it what it is. So see a lot of movement in the ecosystem, and some companies get left high and dry when that happens. So
100%.
Being prepared is important. All right, last question. Thanks for hanging with us. We've got Wyatt Williams. Wyatt says, who is the ideal marketing cloud customer versus Pardot/MC account engagement? For those of you staying on trend for the new names here, who's ideal for one versus the other?
So the way I think of this, for Pardot and marketing or MC account engagement, it's always been said like it's B2B, but that's not always true.
Agreed.
But it does lean, if you need email, really only email, you need direct connection with Salesforce, Marketing Cloud has that. But if you need really email and you don't see yourself getting into SMS, you don't see yourself getting into push messaging, you have a sales team who's going to really interact with that data, and you want to easily see what's happening on your website inside of Salesforce. That to me leans Pardot, or MC account engagement. Marketing Cloud customers is a bigger tool. It can do almost anything. I really haven't run into a use case I can't do. It can do SMS, it can do push messaging, it can do email easily. It can do all the APIs that you need. It can do transactional messaging. All of these things can be done with Marketing Cloud. So if you have a large B2C customer base or any large customer base that you want to go across channel with, I think Marketing Cloud makes a lot of sense.
Yep, pushing large volume out.
That's right.
Complex things with integrations, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Pardot is a great tool, or MC account engagement, user-friendly, that type of thing. But it's worth asking someone and having someone understand the complexity of what you're trying to do with your marketing and messaging.
That's right.
So that they can understand if you need a tool that can handle those types of things, like Marketing Cloud, or if something like MC account engagement is going to be good enough.
Yeah, it really comes down to if you're doing really intense marketing and you want to be able to scale that marketing with unlimited technology, Marketing Cloud is the answer for that.
Cool. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Cloud Cowboys. We will see you next time when we ride again.